Hey, it's Danny from projectmanaverse.com, and in this video I'm going to explain how to prepare for your project kickoff workshop. So let's jump in. First of all, what is a project kickoff? Well, your project kickoff is like a product launch for your product. It's the first time you get everyone together once a project has been approved, you've got your funding, and you know who your project team is going to be. It's the first time you get everyone together to go through what the project is all about. And it's like a bit of a ritual or a ceremony we like to do at the start of projects to really mark it. And there's several reasons why we do project kickoff sessions. Number one, it is a good way to symbolize and formalize the start of the project, so everyone knows the project is up and running and we're going ahead with it. Number two, it's a great place to introduce yourself to the team and to introduce the team to each other as well, especially if you're doing it in person, which I do recommend. Number three, it's a great opportunity to give the team and the stakeholders a background of the project, what the project is all about. And the last one is the perfect chance for you to set some expectations as a project manager. For example, telling them how you're going to run the project and what you expect from them in terms of their roles and responsibilities. So you can do it right at the start, you can do it in person, look them in the eye and establish that, because that kind of thing is hard to do halfway through the project or even a quarter way through the project. You want to do it while the iron is hot, as they say, and do it at the start of the project and get all that established from the beginning. So that's why the project kickoff workshop is important, and that's why we do it. So let me now move on to the tips in terms of how to prepare for it and how to run it as well. So number one, first of all, you want to book the time in, and I recommend doing it for at least half a day, and ideally a day if you're going to do it in person, so you can take your time, you're not rushing through it, but at the minimum do it half a day so it's a proper event. That's the first thing. And then you want to decide where you want to do it. Will it be a Teams meeting, a Zoom call, or will it be a face-to-face? I recommend face-to-face if you can, and if you can, do it off-site as well. Get everyone out of the office onto another site, be it some kind of hotel conference room or whatever you can find, or whatever your organization uses for offsite, if there is a standard thing. I remember I did one of mine once, and the company actually had a learning center where you could actually stay overnight as well. That was a nice place to do it because it had a nice restaurant there, and you could get everyone out of the office. There's less distractions and everyone's focused on the actual project kickoff. So try and do it in person if you can. Number three is to decide the key purpose of the project kickoff meeting. Now, personally, I like the purpose of the kickoff to be to begin the relationship building. That's what it's all about. I'm not really fussed about agendas and what we talk about in the session or trying to get specific outcomes from it. I'm more interested in people just being introduced to the project and each other. Spend some time face to face, get to know each other, start to work with each other and start building that relationship, because seeing each other just once face to face can have a massive impact on the relationship for the whole rest of the project. Even if for the rest of the project you're just doing everything on Teams and by calls, having that first day where you all meet in person, you can shake someone's hand and talk to them in person, it makes a huge impact. I've been on projects where I've gone through the entire project without even meeting the person or even seeing their face, because they might be in another country and their Teams connection isn't very good, so they can't put their camera on. So I've built this relationship with this person, but in my mind I've got an image of them, but I've never actually met them. But if you can actually just see them and spend some time for even just a few minutes, it will make a big difference to the relationship and you will work better with them, I find, in my experience. So that's number three. Next is set your agenda for the session. Now, a few tips here when you set your agenda. You don't want to do too much in there. You don't want to be rushing through things, and you want it to be a relaxed day, not too demanding for the participants. You want them to have some good emotions with this session, so they're enjoying it. So they bit of NLP, bit of neuro-linguistic programming. So you want them to associate good emotions to your project. So you don't want the first day to be really intense and hard work and grueling. So they think about your project and think, oh God, it's that difficult one and that difficult taskmaster project manager. Have a relaxed day, let them sit back a bit. Don't be always getting them up and doing things, because no one really likes to do those group activities. You want to come to a day and just kind of take notes and just relax a bit. There'll be a few of those things, but make it fun and relaxed. You can do things like setting the background of the project brief, of course, the scope, the high level scope of the project, what your key outcomes. If you've got a high level plan, I recommend trying to get that together before you kick off so you can go through the high level timeline and they can call out any potential risks or issues. What else could you go through? The governance. So go through what kind of governance people would need to be following and signing up to and adhering to throughout the project, and your expectations in terms of what you want from them, roles and responsibilities, that kind of easy stuff. I would go through that. And in terms of exercises, as in getting them to do something, not just listening to you going through slides, a couple of things you can do is, number one, think about critical success factors. So you can ask your team, once you've gone through what the outcomes of the projects are, the outcome of the project is and your key deliverables, ask them to think about what does success look like in their minds, because what that does, it starts to get them to visualize the project being a success right from the start, and not only being a success, but it makes it a bit more tangible. It makes the outcome more tangible to your project team, and you want to start doing that as early as possible, because clarity is really important with projects. The more clear everyone is on what you're trying to do, the more chance you have of the project being a success. So you want everyone to start visualizing success right from the start. So that's a great exercise. Get them to think about, what does success look like, and what would their critical success factors be? What would have to happen in order for them to deem the project a good success? Is it the project's on budget, there's no defects, things like that. Get them to start thinking about what success looks like. Another thing you can do is just think about high level risks, because in that room, if you invite the right people, the right key stakeholders in your project team, there will be a lot of experience in that room in terms of them having worked on other projects in the past, and you want to utilize that right from the start. So get them to think, from your experience based on similar projects, what do you think are some of the key risks that could trip us up on this project, and get them to write up on the board or do post-it notes or however you want to do it. But that's a bit of a fun interactive exercise that gets them thinking and off their feet, off their chairs, that isn't too demanding. Okay, what's next? Okay, just a few tips now to wrap it up, but that's pretty much it. Once you've got your agenda sorted, you're really ready to go and you've got the place booked and the venue organised. But I would say get a parking lot board, and that basically means if people raise topics or issues or whatever that you do need to talk about that are important, but you don't have the time or the right people in the room to talk about it there and then, just capture it on you park it basically, so capture it on your parking lot. Make sure you're capturing all the actions throughout the session, so have another board there for your actions. Write this up on the board as you go along, and yeah, do some kind of icebreaker at the beginning of the session to get people warmed up, some kind of fun activity. A couple of classic examples. Number one is ask everyone what's in the boot of their car, because you'll be surprised when you answer that what it says about the person. It will reveal a bit about who they are and what they're like, and it's quite fun as well. And then another one is the very famous one where you say two false things about yourself and one truth, and then you have to guess which one is a false thing and which one is a true thing. That's quite fun as well. But yeah, that's it. So have the session. One more tip, just make sure you have a spare agenda item. So if you get through your entire agenda too quickly, just have a spare agenda item in your back pocket, so you're not sitting there going, oh, what do we do now? Or if you want to finish early, that's fine as well. But if you're going to go off site, you might as well make the most of the time together. So have some backup agenda items, and don't be too strict with trying to stay on time with the agenda. It's supposed to be a relaxed day. Remember, you want everyone to have positive emotions and think about your project in a positive manner. But that's it. It's pretty straightforward but very powerful, so I do recommend you do one. Please like the video if you enjoyed it, and of course if you want to see more videos like this one, subscribe, and until tomorrow, please take care.